smoke, old stogies I have found.
Alright guys, welcome back to another Stogie Lads video. Today we have another Cuban cigar. As you can see, it's a complete classic, one of the most classic robustos out of Cuba, one of the most well-known classic robustos in the world, the Partagas Serie D number 4. This cigar has been around since 1975. I actually thought it had been around longer, but yeah, it's been around since then. As I said, it's very, very classic. I mean, that along with the Cohiba Robusto and the Epicure number 2 are really Cuba's most famous robustos. This is actually Cuba's most sold cigar now. It recently passed the Monte Cristo number 4. So it's really a Cuban staple. I haven't had this cigar for a bit. It's been a couple of years probably. Partagas is one of those brands where it's sort of middle of the road for me, and I haven't even cut it. Oh my god. Well, it doesn't hurt to light first. I got so preoccupied actually because the wind, a gust of wind as soon as I came out came and it blew the cigar right off the table. I just put it on the table, so it made a little crack, and you know, I got really frustrated because it was actually, there was no wind here at all just a few minutes ago, and then I got out here and all of a sudden a big gust came. So I'm hoping that's not going to be too much of a problem and it settles down. I'm usually quite protected here on the balcony, so it usually isn't a problem. But yeah, we shall see. Now it's cut, now it's lit, it's ready to smoke. Really funny amateur mistake, just trying to draw on a non-cut cigar. That's funny. But as I was saying, Partagas for me is sort of middle of the road, down the line. Just in terms of where I rank the brands, Partagas for me is a nice, decent brand. I like Partagas decently enough, but it's not one of the ones that I reach for most often. I'm more of a medium sort of Cuban cigar guy, but on terms of construction, you know, other than the crack that I guess sort of was my fault, but also this awful weather, the draw is perfect. It's actually lit really well, and let's hope it burns well. It's very, very, very smooth in the retrohale. A nice bit of earth, not too much Cuban twang, not too much pepper either. So it's been a few years. For me, Partagas is just a little too peppery for what I like, and I'm not like a huge woody note fan, which you sometimes get. But a fun fact, the first box of Cuban cigars I ever bought was actually a box of Partagas Aristocrats, funny enough, a really like under the radar sort of petite Corona. This was a few years ago when I was starting out, you know, several years ago. Glad to see the wind has calmed down. I was in Brussels airport actually, and yeah, I was like, whenever I travel internationally, I like to pick up cigars, and I like to buy boxes at airports. Usually the prices are pretty good there, and they were selling this box of Aristocrats. I didn't really know that much about that cigar or Partagas or anything. Probably not the best beginner cigars, but they were actually pretty good. They were selling them at this price, which was so outrageously low that I was like, I can't not pick them up. It doesn't matter what kind of cigar this is. It's a Cuban cigar, and they were selling them for so cheap that I was like, yeah, fuck it. I think it was a box of 25, and I can't remember the price now, but... Alright, it's burning very well. I'm really disappointed that I had to make this crack, because I think it would be burning absolutely perfectly without it. It's not really affecting it too much. It just looks really ugly, and I hate that. This is a really neat cigar. You can see the cap, maybe. I hope you can see it. It was extremely neatly placed. So yeah, nice, a little bit of wood, nice earthy flavor, not really any pepper. Really, really tasty so far. I've had this in the humidor for like a year and a half, something like that. It's probably got a couple years on it. retrohaling, nice. A little bit more Cuban twang on the retrohale, but not that much more. I'm gonna get back to you. I actually gotten decently into the first half, so I might get back to you in the second, third. Bring some more notes, and I'll see you guys then. Alright, into the second, third. Yeah, the cigar is a delight. It really is really nice. As you can tell, it's burning perfectly. I haven't needed, my lighter's still way over there. Haven't needed to touch anything. No touch-ups, nothing. Despite that crack, absolute perfect construction. Yeah, I apologize for the people joyriding out here. Pretty loud. And this dog going crazy. But in any case, it's perfectly constructed, which is what you really hope from like these classic, like the Monte Cristo number 2, the Partagas D4, or the Monterrey Epicure number 2, or any Cohiba. You really want those classic big name Cubans to be well constructed, or else you'll be pretty disappointed. So that's a real big plus. Still very smooth. It's not that Partagas powerhouse that I was expecting. It's been a while since I had this cigar, I must say. But you know, Partagas are famous for that power, that powerhouse sort of, for Cuba at least, being very powerful. This is dead straight medium so far for me, I'd say. Really nice earth, a little bit of cocoa, barely any spice. It's just hinting, and this dog is actually frustrating me a bit now. Oh my god. A little bit of spice, just hinting in the roof of the mouth. A little bit of cocoa, but mainly earth, kind of earthy and leathery, darker. And on the retrohale, which is still, as I said, extremely smooth, it unlocks a little bit of cedar. There's not that much depth, and it hasn't really changed that much. So that's the only, you know, downside. But so far, it's just been a pleasant, smooth ride. Really nice Cuban flavor. I think I'm about 20 minutes in. So it's burning quite quickly, or maybe I'm just puffing quicker because I'm really enjoying this. Yeah, mid-September somehow. I'm still out with a t-shirt in Sweden, so that's, you know, huge plus. Yeah, a little bit of just spice laying in the background. Not too much though. And it's not overwhelming. I thought it might be, you know, maybe a little too heavy of a cigar for the afternoon, but it's very nice. So I'm gonna keep going until the end here, and I'll get back to you with the final thoughts, and I'll see you guys then. Alright, so into the final third of this beautiful stick. There's some kind of construction work going on all of a sudden, so let's hope that doesn't bring up too much of a problem. I have not been lucky today, from the cracking of the foot, not cutting the cigar, that dog going crazy, joyrides and construction, you know. This cigar made up for it though, for sure. It's been really pleasant. Still, you know, perfect burn. I think you can really expect consistency with these cigars. This has been really well made, and I have never had a problem before with the PSD4. So I think you can expect a lot of consistency. A lot of other more minor Cuban cigars, some of those like Romeo Julieta, Petit Coronas, they have like 7 different types. Those are much more inconsistent in terms of blending, in terms of quality. So these are really a big performer. I think it has definitely stepped up to full-bodied here in the final third, at least very full-bodied for a Cuban cigar. Yeah, long, deep finish of earth. Some cocoa, leathery earth really is like the deepness of it. Not too much spice. Again, it's just a tiny bit of spice lingering in the back. I'm not sure if the few years of age has mellowed this out a little more than I expected. A lot of people talk about Partagas now compared to before. And a lot of people say that the cigars have changed a lot. They don't have the same power they used to. And, you know, I've even read from some, you know, really knowledgeable, experienced smokers that it's not even really worth it to age these cigars much anymore because they just mellow out too much. They don't have the power like they used to age them, because before they were really, you know, rough and, you know, strong off right out of the box. So aging them really did them well. But nowadays, people are saying, younger is actually more reminiscent to how they used to be. And if you age them for too long, they kind of lose that edge. So I'm not sure. I think this is really good. For me, I don't like... The reason I don't smoke that much Partagas, especially this series, is because I don't love them young with a lot of power. So I've had this for a while and let this age to get it more to where I like it. I like it more medium. This final third, although it brought a lot of complexity, I prefer the first two probably. But this final third has definitely helped it up the rating for me. I think if it didn't shift at all, that's, it's just a little too straightforward. So to get to that rating, I was hovering somewhere around 88 before, but then when I hit this final third, and it gained body and it gained a little darker earth, I think I'll put this at a dead straight 90. And that's a fair rating. It's been very, very, very good. Especially considering that I dropped it and cracked it. It still performed absolutely perfectly. Decently complex, and it brings something that you don't get in a lot of other Cubans. This for a Cuban at least, a lot of power. If you like those sort of cigars, I'd really recommend this. A lot of people that maybe smoke more full-bodied U.S. market cigars, I think this is a good, first Cuban, especially in the fact that these are more consistently rolled. You don't get an awful Cuban and get turned off of them for the rest of your life. These will probably deliver for you. So yeah, very, very nice experience, nice weather, just beautiful time to have a cigar. I may note that I'm about 45-50 minutes in, so it started burning quite a lot slower. So this is probably going to end up being sort of an hour-long smoke, which for me is typical for a robusto. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.
The smoke, old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man